So something that I found interesting that I've talked about previously is Cam Thompson's ability to make difficult off-balance shots. For me personally, it's not something that I have noticed until this season because some of Cam's makes are so off-balance that it's impressive. For example, in the game against Boston in November, he had two shots that were extremely off-balance that he made. So in the first clip, it's late in the shot clock, he drives against Dennis Schroeder. When he plants both of his feet are pointing towards the baseline. He rises up, hits a contested jumper over Dennis Schroeder to beat the shot clock. Then in the next clip, late in the shot clock, ball gets deflected. He drives against Jaylen Brown. He steps back, and when he plants both of his feet are pointing or angled to the baseline, and he rises up, hits the contested jumper over Jaylen Brown to beat the shot clock. So when I saw these moments on TV, I didn't have much of an explanation for it until recently, which is a little bit more biomechanical and a little bit more basic common sense. So when a basketball player bends their knees, they're doing it to generate the power to propel themselves upward to release the jumper. But Cam is also doing it to twist his body to align it with the rim so he can get an on-bound shot. So in the first clip again, attacks Dennis Schroeder. When he plants his feet, you see that his feet pointed towards the baseline, his chest pointed towards the baseline, and you see his head is pointing towards the rim. And then as he goes up, you see that he uses that momentum from his knee bend and power from his knee bend to align his body with the rim so he can get off a cleaner look that's more on balance, right? So then in the second clip, same situation again, late shot clock, steps back. When he steps back, his feet are pointed to the baseline, his chest is pointed to the baseline, but his head is looking at the rim. And then as he goes up, he uses that momentum to align himself with the rim and get off a more off-balance, cleaner look that he ends up making, right? So then it's important to note that you don't always need your feet to be aligned with the rim when you're shooting the jumper. So for example, there are turn shooters who turn their feet for 15 degrees and shoot the ball to compensate for their elbow flaring out when they shoot with their feet aligned to the rim. And there are other ways to get your body aligned with the rim to take shots. So for example, this clip is from the 18-19 Nets. So in this clip, Jarrett Allen tosses it to D'Lo. Jarrett Allen sets a pin down for Rodions, and then Rodions comes off the pin down and hits a three. The thing that's interesting about this is when you look at Rodions' footwork, when he gets the ball, he takes a small hop to turn and align himself with the rim, and then he launches the ball and he ends up making it. Right, so hopping is one of the ways that people align themselves with the rim before taking a jumper. And then we have KD's Game 7 shot to send it into overtime. So KD, he plants his left foot, and his left foot is angled or pointing towards the sideline in the Nets bench. And then as he's bending his knees, he uses it to turn his body to align his feet with the rim as best as he can. And then he launches up and hits the jumper to send the game into overtime, right? So in conclusion, Cam's ability to take off-balance jumpers and use the power generated from his knee bends to twist his body to align it with the rim is super impressive for a young player. I didn't know much about biomechanics previously, and I never paid much attention to balance when shooting jumpers until the last year or so. So I'm sure there's other young players who take difficult off-balance jumpers and twist their body like Cam, and I just haven't noticed. There's some situations where you're unable to immediately be on balance when preparing to shoot, like late in the shot clock, such as Cam or KD. And the way that defenses are playing you may not allow you to do certain things like hop into a shot like Rody did, or do 1-2 footwork into a jumper like KD did. Cam is just the guy that I noticed taking off-balance shots since it was so extreme, so I wanted to make a video on it and the other ways players align themselves with the rim before taking a jumper. So yeah, thanks for watching.